You can make your resume talk for you? Yes, you heard it right. It is crucial to make sure that your resume talks for you. Reason being, your resume reaches the recruiter before they reach you. Your resume meets the recruiter before they meet you. Your resume is seen by the recruiter before they see you. And your resume is judged by the recruiter before they judge you. And before you set foot in any interview to talk about your skills, expertise, experience, knowledge, job, accomplishments, and impress the panel, why can't your resume do the job instead? And that is possible by making sure that your resume talks on your behalf. Hi everyone, I'm Sadaf Tahir. After having written and reviewed over hundreds of resumes for students and corporate professionals, I've zeroed in on 4 areas that makes a resume ineffective, tedious, and uninteresting. Not just for the recruiters, but anyone who goes through that document. And those 4 areas are: first, a resume more than 2 pages. Second, a resume laden with responsibilities, duties, and tasks. Third, a resume with zero or minimal quantitative and qualitative data. And lastly, a resume focused in the past or present. Let's look at each of these areas one by one. Now, I get a lot of inquiries from people, especially students, asking, is it okay if my resume goes beyond 1 page? Now, if you're a student with zero or minimal experience and your USP happens to be either your education or extracurricular activities and achievements, then why do you need a 2-page document? On the flip side, if you're someone with decades of experience, a resume more than 2 pages sounds justified, is it? Well, it's not. There are 2 reasons why your resume does not fit into 2 pages or more. 1, you're adding everything in your resume, and I mean everything. Second, you're not using the right format. But remember, there's nothing wrong with adding the 2nd page to your resume, only if the content adds value to your application, shows you the right fit, and justifies your skill set. And that, everyone, is the first secret on how you can make your resume talk for you. As a resume writer, I get approached by a lot of people. And once, a country head of a global MNC reached out to me to get his resume rewritten. Of course, I was over the moon, but I was also afraid and really nervous at the same time. He's at the top of his field. What could I do in his resume to enhance its effectiveness? He's a leading business professional. What can I do to enhance the effectiveness of his resume? All these thoughts started racking my brain. Nevertheless, I still asked his resume for a review. He shared it. I opened the PDF. It was 7 pages. Yes, 7 pages. It had every detail, all the bullets, every task, each responsibility of all the companies that he's taken care of, all the roles that he's handled in the past 25 years. Now think as a recruiter. Would you be interested in knowing what a prospective candidate did 15 or 20 years back? No, that's because it's irrelevant information. So why to add it in the first place? Now this is the second mistake that a lot of people make when creating their resumes. We feel that everything that we've done, right from day 1, company 1 of our careers to company 5, year 25 of our lives of our career has to be added in the resume because it's so important. There's this psychological and emotional attachment that we have towards our work, that we feel the inclination to add everything in our resume. And that's where a lot of people do mistakes, including freshers as well as experienced people. This is also one of the reasons why our resume runs beyond 2 pages. Now, how do you identify what is relevant information? Well, read the job description well. Second, write bullets that match with what the company is looking for. And then finally, add tasks that showcase both your soft skills and hard skills through your work. Also, if you're someone with a lot of experience, add bullets and descriptions of the recent 10 to 12 years. The companies that you worked for before, you may choose to add only the biggest accomplishment or just the key roles that you've handled to showcase your career trajectory. And that, everyone, is the third recipe on how you can make your resume relevant and make it talk on your behalf by showcasing your fitment and your skills for the role. Now that we're talking about responsibilities, imagine a scenario. You want to shift your job and you apply for a lot of companies online. You do get shortlisted for a few. There'll be many more candidates who would have the same skill sets or experience as yours. Now think as a recruiter. What would impress him? A list of responsibilities or a list of what you gained from fulfilling those responsibilities? Think. And that's a third mistake that a lot of people make in their resumes, which is by making a responsibility-ridden resume instead of a result-oriented resume. So to ensure that this mistake does not happen, always make sure that you're adding a lot of quantitative as well as qualitative data, a lot of numbers to as many bullets as possible to showcase what is the output that you've gained from your input. Because if I'm hiring you, I'm not just hiring you for fulfilling few tasks, but I'm hiring you to successfully handle the roles, responsibilities for which you would be paid. Let's look at this resume bullet. Conceptualize new blog initiative by uniting engineers, designers, and writers. Grammatically, there's nothing wrong with this resume bullet, but it's still ineffective. Now let's make it effective. And how can we do that? By actually adding some qualitative data to it. Have a look. Conceptualize a new blog initiative by uniting engineers, designers, and writers, generating organic sessions, and introducing unique users to the website. Now tell me, doesn't this sound better? Let's elevate this resume bullet a notch higher by actually adding quantitative data to it. Have a look. Conceptualized a new blog initiative by uniting engineers, designers, and writers, generating over 3 million organic sessions and introducing over 1 million unique users to the website, resulting in 25% profit hike. Now tell me, how impactful does this sound on a scale of 1 to 10? Pause the video and comment below. Do you think we can elevate this resume bullet again a notch up higher? Yes, it is absolutely doable. And we can do that by adding a timeline to it. Take a look. Conceptualized a new blog initiative by uniting engineers, designers, and writers, generating over 3 million organic sessions and introducing over 1 million unique users to the website, resulting in 25% profit hike within 2 months. Now that, everyone, is my WHIT approach that talks about your productivity efficiency. So what does WHIT stand for? What did you do? How did you do it? What was its impact? And in what time frame did you accomplish? Through my WHIT approach, your resume will actually talk about your productivity, accomplishments, initiatives, and your efficiency. Now let's move on to the fourth hack, which could make your resume talk for you, and that could be done by justifying your skill sets. Now, we tend to write a lot of keywords in our resume, keywords including soft skills, hard skills, even hobbies for that matter. Words like machine learning, artificial intelligence, problem solving, time management, dancing, reading, all these words are seen in resumes a lot. Now, when I'm talking about making your resume talk for you and justifying your skill sets, let's just say you write down dancing as one of the skills that you have. Now tell me, does any section of your resume justify how good you are at dancing? So when I say any section, what I mean is, does your extracurricular activities or achievements showcase to the recruiter that you've won some dancing competitions or you've participated in many dancing events throughout? Take tally for that matter, a hard skill that you're talking about. Does any section of your resume, including your experience, your internship, or your education, tell me that you've used Tally anywhere? And when I'm talking about justifying your skill set, I don't just mean having a certification, but I'm talking about proof of application. And that proof of application, a section of your resume which showcases that you've truly applied that skill, makes you come across as a more authentic, reliable candidate. And that is a great way of making your resume talk on your behalf and showcase you as a highly credible candidate. The fifth recipe is the 4 R's approach. What are those 4 R's? Roles, rewards, results, and responsibilities. This is exactly the sequence that you should follow when creating your resume. Let's have a look at this resume sample, which will give you a lot of clarity. Starting off with roles, you're making sure that recruiters are aware of your multitasking skills. Rewards should always come in next because it showcases that even the current company appreciates you for your efforts. Then we talk about results. What are the results of your efforts? That is really crucial because it can actually showcase that you're driven by numbers. And then lastly, it should be your responsibilities. A classic mistake that I observe a lot of people make in their resumes is writing their accomplishments in bold and at the last. Now imagine something that should be written as the first bullet is often written at the last. Think again like a recruiter. Do you think recruiters have a lot of time and patience to read every line, every sentence, every word that you write? And that took something which is written at the last? Time to think. We finally reached the last and sixth recipe of how you can make your resume talk for you. But before I divulge that to everyone, tell me how much you were fond of studying tenses when you were in school. Don't worry, I'm not going to teach you tenses here, but the last recipe actually deals with present, past, and future tense that you have to take care of in your resume. Now, imagine a scenario. When you applied for a job, your resume either talks about the work that you've done in the past or you're doing presently. Now think of the job that you've applied. Does it match with what your future job demands or what your future company or employer is asking from your end? That's where a huge gap lies in almost 90% of the applications. So, what do you need to do? Make your resume future focused instead of focusing it on the present or in the past. So to conclude, how can you make your resume talk for you? Add things that add value. Make a result-oriented resume instead of a responsibility-oriented resume. Add quantitative and qualitative data to as many bullets as possible and put them at the top. Justify your skill sets through proof of work or application. Use the 4 R's approach because it will ensure that any important information isn't missed out by recruiters. And lastly, make your resume future focused. Thank you all so much for listening to me. I hope these tips help you in creating an impeccable resume, something that will talk on your behalf and nail you that next job interview. Take care. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Bye-bye.